Hi everyone, my name is Marina and I am the Mite Medic. I am here for another video about Demodex mites and dandruff. Coming up, I will release a video with product recommendations, product reviews for Demodex mites, but Demodex mites can be anywhere, and I just want to get down to the biology of it. I want to explain that Demodex mites can be causing a lot of issues, or the Demodex mites can be caused from a lot of issues. So in today's video, I wanted to speak about Demodex and dandruff. Can we see that's similar in those two issues? So although scalp flakes come effortlessly, right? We all have scalp flakes, we all have dandruff. We all see dandruff when our hair is not washed well, but they don't quickly go away. So if you suffer from dandruff, you would agree that it's hard to get rid of, right? What's the definition of dandruff? Dandruff is among the most prevalent skin issues affecting about half of the people before puberty. Indications include the scaling that usually occurs on the scalp and sometimes includes mild itching. Although dandruff might seem infectious, it's not. It's a healthy aspect of our body, and it is of course harmless to a degree, and it does not usually lead to critical complications, right? However, it can create social issues resulting from low self-esteem. So what we see is a cradle cap, it's called, is what the dandruff in infancy is called, and usually a mild form of seborrheic dermatitis, which occurs in adulthood, right? So how does dandruff form? Where do these scales come from? Skin cells usually turn over and old ones fall off, new cells take their place. But under certain conditions, this turnover seems to accelerate, right? What are those conditions? There's a hypothesis that in dandruff, skin cells may grow and be shed in 2 to 7 days, which is more like a month for individuals who are experiencing dandruff. The cells are pushed outward where they die and flake off as dandruff. What does dandruff look like under the microscope? The size and abundance of the flakes may differ at different times in various parts of the skin, but dandruff scales are made up of a bunched corneocytes, and they have this preserved degree of attachment with one another and separated from what's called the stratum corneum. They're usually white or gray if you look at them on a microscope. Let's go and dive deeper to dandruff linkage and seborrheic dermatitis. Seborrheic dermatitis is one of the widest skin issues associated with a resistant dandruff. The disorder can influence other parts of the skin in addition to the scalp, right? Inflamed, itchy, red skin covered in patches of white or yellow oily flakes or scales are among the typical symptoms. Seborrheic dermatitis is most frequented in areas where the oil glands are more active, right? And that's our scalp. Sides of the nose, mouth, scalp, ears, earlids, armpits, eyebrows, and chest are the typical manifestation of the seborrheic dermatitis. The difference between the two, between seborrheic dermatitis and dandruff, is that the former, inflammation in skin scales, may extend further than the scalp for seborrheic dermatitis. Dandruff is usually kept on the scalp, right? However, it is said that seborrheic dermatitis exists on a spectrum, and the mild end of it displays as dandruff as well. We can also call seborrheic dermatitis as seborrheic psoriasis or seborrheic eczema. The type of eczema in infants is known as a cradle cap, right? So, Demodex mites. As you know, or as how we have been learning, what are Demodex mites? Demodex mites are microorganisms that have an important role in developing dandruff through both direct and indirect mechanisms, right? Let's start with understanding, or let's start to better grasp Demodex mites first, right? It may seem strange, but our body and skin is residence of a myriad of living things, from fungi to bacteria to mites and insects. These organisms range from a normal density of 103 to 105 per millimeter of the skin. Millimeter squared of the skin, I'm sorry. And one of these organisms are Demodex mites. Demodex mites usually exist in less than 5 per square centimeters of human skin. However, Like malassezia, they can increase and take control of our skin under favorable conditions. When they're grown out of proportion, when they grow in a population, right, they can worsen dermatological effects or concerns like rosacea, blepharitis, acne, hair loss, hair thinning, dandruff, a crawling sensation, seborrheic dermatitis, eczema, and others. And some of the skin and hair issues raised due to excessive numbers of Demodex mites, right? As we wanted to get to in this video, Demodex do play a role in dandruff. Cylindrical dandruff at the root of the lashes is a tangible spot or sign of a Demodex mite infestation at that particular area. So cylindrical dandruff. The microorganisms, they do have tiny tentacle-like legs, and they can move from 8 to 16 centimeters in an hour. They damage the thin skin around the eyelash base with their claws, right? With the micro abrasions. And this causes dandruff to form at the bases of the lashes. Those can be called collarettes as well. They do produce Demodex mites produce toxic substances from their bodies that could be causing the itching and irritation. That's from bacteria that is left behind from the Demodex mites. When the itching is severe, the host starts to scratch the skin, correct? And Demodex mites are the vector for harmful bacteria and fungi like malassezia, which plays a direct role in dandruff and dandruff-related concerns such as seborrheic dermatitis. So, similar to malassezia, Demodex mites feed on sebum. That's why they can proliferate more in oily parts of the skin where they are more prone to flaking, right? Treatments for dandruff and Demodex mites would be to create your own tea tree oil shampoo at home. Great brands can be a brand called Avante. That's a brand that you can buy from, but you can also create a brand, a shampoo at home from a simple shampoo and put tea tree oil drops in your shampoo as a natural base. And the recipe, the ingredients to that, I will put down below in the description. And that's a little bit about dandruff and Demodex mites. They do usually live together. They usually cause each other. Demodex causes dandruff and so forth. But these two come hand in hand in our body's functions. And as you know, we all do have dandruff, but Demodex mites can be causing that. That's why it is great to have an exfoliating shampoo, an exfoliating treatment that will help minimize that sebum or that dandruff as well. That way we don't have a Demodex mite proliferation in the long run. As well as having a great diet that lowers the sebum, so a very low sugar diet. In my book, The Demodex Solution, a 90-day solution to get rid of Demodex mites, we have a whole program lined out for you, the specific daily protocol, weekly and monthly, and supplementation guides. And I hope you guys check it out. I'm going to be making in my next video. It'll be in the works, and I'm excited to get more ideas from you guys. If you can comment, like, subscribe, so we get the videos out there, you know, not only about Demodex mites, about our health in general, about our microbiome in general, the different species that live on our skin, how we can balance them. We have insects, we have fungi, parasites, everything on our skin that we want to balance. And it's all about the right diet, the right supplementation. But thank you so much, guys. See you in the next video.